am at the southern terminus. There it is, taking our photo ops. It's a beautiful day. Good morning. It's day 5, and I thought I would give an update on the first 5 days of hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. So just all in all, it's been pretty amazing. I'm really happy, and there have been some days that were tough, but I'll go over that. But all in all, it's just been the best time. So I'm gonna actually walk while I'm doing this, so sorry about the light. So on day 5 right now, we're in the Anza Desert, but rewinding back to a couple days before my start date, I was actually pretty stressed, especially concerning getting my resupply boxes done. So that took way longer than I thought. So if you are planning on hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, I would start, and if you plan on sending resupply boxes, I would definitely start on that really early. I thought I started early, but it wasn't early enough. So yeah, start that early. I have 15 boxes, so that's about half of my food for the trip. So a lot of people don't do that, but if you choose to do boxes, start early. So anyway, that was a little stressful, and then just, I think it's normal to be nervous before something like this. So I know that some of the hikers I was talking to along the way, and my partner, we also, none of us really got very much sleep the night before starting. So, well, a couple nights before. So just a real look at what goes on before hiking. Not much sleep and a lot of stress, unfortunately. But once I got to the terminus, I was really excited and actually a bit emotional. But I think that's a good thing. And my parents dropped me off on day 1, and we were really early, so it was nice because we got our photo ops and I took pictures with my parents, and we had a little moment alone with the terminus. And then my backpacking partner showed up and we took some pictures, and then a whole carloads of people showed up from Scout and Frodo's, who are trail angels, and a lot of people from out of town and overseas stay with them, and they house them and feed them and don't accept any money, so they're just doing it out of the goodness of their hearts. So that's really sweet, and maybe I'll meet them someday. I hope so. This is an amazing view, so I'm going to show you really quick. So I'm still in the Anza Desert, looking at that. So beautiful. 360 view. So anyway, day 1. It went really well. We hiked about 15 miles in and then camped with a big group of people and made friends along the way. This lady from Montana who was great. Gosh, the light is really not good, is it? I'll just stand like this. And then we met a younger guy from Oregon. We hiked together for a while and then set up camp. Really fun, really great. And first scare of the trail was the night one. There was a search and rescue pretty close to where we were staying. And so in the middle of the night, there were like a bunch of helicopters hovering over our campsites, and I think search and rescue drove in, and we're trying to find someone. So that was a little bit jarring for the first night on trail. But I hope whoever they were trying to find is okay. So yeah, first day, a little bit of a scary situation, but day 2 was a pretty great day. Hiked about, I think, 17 miles. So we had a lot of mileage that we got in. And we found a really nice spot by a stream. So water wasn't really an issue the first, I'd say, 3 days on the trail. So yeah, camped right by a stream. It was beautiful. My backpacking partner gave 2 people trail names, and I gave 1 person a trail name. So shout out to Bluebird, Soundtrack, and Tranquilizer. So second day we gave them their names, and third day we hiked into Mount Laguna, and it was hot the first 2 days. Third day, it was rainy, foggy, and there was a wind advisory, so 60-mile-an-hour winds. It was raining, so we hiked into Mount Laguna, had some lunch, resupplied, and then we decided to head back out in those conditions. Most people stayed in Mount Laguna because the conditions weren't that great, but we wanted to push on. So we hiked for about 7 miles in really high winds. So of course we were hiking along a ridge at the top of like I'm gonna say mountain, but it was more like a large hill. And it was blowing us everywhere. And it was kind of fun though. My adrenaline kicked in, and we actually hiked the fastest we've ever hiked in that stretch. So I was proud of us. It was me and my backpacking partner, and then Soundtrack. So we were glad to have another person with us while we were doing that. But waltzed into camp and set up our tents probably around 5, and just got in our tents because it was really cold and a little bit rainy and windy, and just stuck it out in our tents. And I had really nice dinner and everything. So it was a really early night for us. Day 4, I kind of had an off day. So it was one of those days where it's like one thing after another. So I went to the bathroom in the morning, and then I couldn't find my way back to my tent. So I was probably lost for about 10 minutes trying to find my tent. And it doesn't seem that long, but when it's happening, it's like, seems like it's taking forever. So I was panicking a little bit. So that wasn't very fun. But so that was the start to my day. Got lost. What else happened? It was just like one thing after another. While we were hiking, I was grabbing my water bottle, and it slipped out of my hand and fell like down this really steep hill. So I couldn't see it. And then I bent down with my pack on, which was really stupid, to try to see if I could retrieve it. And then when I lifted myself back up, I popped my knee. So that was a little scary. I thought, okay, maybe this is it. Like maybe I just injured myself. But luckily after walking for a little bit longer, it wasn't too bad. So, but it just wasn't the greatest idea to do that. So I lost some water, and then just hiking in, it was just a beautiful hike down to the next spot we were camping in, and we started descending into the Anza Borrego. So, even though, I also twisted my ankle on top of everything else. So it was just like kind of not the best day, but at the end of the day, I just figured I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. It was just so beautiful. The moon was rising while we were eating dinner and setting up our tents. So still a good day. And that's what I'm thinking on this trail is even if you had a bad day, it's still one of the best days. So yeah, I've just been really enchanted by this trail. But so that was day 4. Day 5, we hiked down, and the beginning of day 5 didn't start so great either, because we found out that there wasn't enough water to there was like a little water cache by where we were staying, and a big group left and there wasn't enough water for us, so we had to ration our water. And luckily we found a cache near Scissors Crossing, so we rationed until, I don't know, I think that was like 9 miles that we had to just like not drink a ton of water. But so little tip for people who are thinking about backpacking and need to ration their water, taking little sips at a time really helps with that. And I didn't know that. My backpacking partner told me that. So good tip. I tried it and it works. So luckily we found the water cache and stayed there for a while because it was under a bridge. So thank you to those who stashed that water cache. It was a lifesaver for us. Then we hiked through the Anza Borrego, and the blooms are beautiful right now. I feel really lucky because it's a high rain year. It's just beautiful flowers everywhere I look. So I've taken some pictures, and I'll have little slideshows on and off with those. But yeah, really beautiful, but very, very hot day. So I was really glad I finally used my umbrella. So really glad I had that. I wore shorts for a little part of the day and I did get burned. So I put my pants back on. But yeah, really, really happy I have my umbrella. A lot of people are jealous right now. At first people think you're crazy for bringing an umbrella to hike, but then you're the envy of everyone once you bring it out and it's like 90 degrees outside. So yeah, pretty hot day. It's going to be hot today too. So I'll probably break out the umbrella again. But yeah, so day 5, beautiful. Got a nice spot I think we hiked about 18 miles yesterday. So we're exceeding our goal. So today we'll be hiking. It's day 6. I'm probably at mile 87 right now. And we're going to be hiking into Warner Springs tomorrow. So I will update you guys. I'll have another video on the last 2 days of our week. But so far it's been great. I don't have any blisters. I've been loving my bucket system where I'm cleaning my feet and my socks almost every day, unless there's not enough water, but I've been doing it almost every day, no blisters, so I think that is working. And I think everybody I've talked to has blisters, so there might be something to this system. So if you want to avoid blisters, maybe try the bucket washing feet and sock method. I recommend it. Anyway, that's the update for now. The first 5 days, 6, because today is day 6. It's about 7 a.m. right now. We started hiking about an hour ago. So I will give an update in the next video on the last 2 days, and it'll probably be from Warner Springs. Springs on day 7 right now, so sorry if it's hard to hear me. So day 6 started great. We actually had a lot of snake encounters, so I saw my first rattlesnake on the trail today. I've seen some before, but this was a pretty close encounter. So my backpacking partner and I were walking and heard this really loud rattling noise, and of course we knew what it was, and it pretty big rattlesnake in a bush of all things. It was like hanging in a bush literally right next to the trail. So luckily we backed up and assessed the situation, and there was a spot where we could go around. So we were kind of like pounding our hiking poles and everything, and it just wasn't moving. So we decided to just go around it. And then I saw a couple other silver snakes. I'm not sure, they were bright silver in the sun. I don't know what they were, but they seemed pretty harmless, and they were responsive when I was pounding my hiking poles on the ground. So luckily they kind of moved off of the trail, but definitely a day for snakes, day 6. And we also decided to take a little siesta in the middle of the day, which was nice because it was really hot. So we might be doing that going forward. We'll see, but it seemed like a really good idea because it was very hot. And then when we got into our camp for the night, we hiked about 14 miles. We had some trail magic, so our first trail magic, and for those of you who don't know what that is, people come, they're called trail angels, and along the trail do something nice for hikers. So they could have food or drinks or both for hikers. And anyway, so Magneto, shout out to Magneto, he had some sodas and fruit and chips and everything for hikers, so I took advantage of the chips. And then later on in the day, or actually I guess evening, a group called, oh my gosh, it's called Fun Without Flakes. So they're a hiking group, and they were planning to be where our camp was all weekend to be trail angels for hikers. So they rolled in this whole feast for us, and then I think about 40 hikers ended up staying at that site. So it was quite the scene, but yeah, there was hamburgers and hot dogs, and they had wine and beer and brie, fresh fruit, organic vegetables and everything, and then they stayed the night to make dinner the next day. So it was really amazing. So thank you, Fun Without Flakes, for doing that, and also Magneto for doing some amazing trail magic for us. Really appreciate it. And today's day 7, so my backpacking partner and I got up really early, and I think we headed out at about 6 a.m. Because we wanted to get into Warner Springs to get to the post office. The post office closes on Saturday at 1:30, so we really wanted to get there with a lot of time. So we hiked out, and it was a beautiful morning for hiking. It was kind of a pastoral scene, and there were cows while we were walking, just meandering around, and we saw Eagle Rock, which was really cool. And a lot of day hikers too. So it was pretty crowded on the trail today. And now I'm in Warner Springs. I just had a shower and washed my clothes. I'm waiting for those to dry. And got my resupply, which I'm excited about. So I'm just situating that. And I think we might be heading out after that. Not sure what we're gonna do yet, because we can stay in Warner Springs, but well, there is an incentive to stay because there is going to be some more trail magic, and the Prodigy is going to be putting that on. So thank you in advance for that. So we'll see if we end up staying. We do want to get to Idlewild because I think that's where we're going to take a 0 day, which means we're not going to be hiking at all. So we'll see what ends up happening. But whatever does happen, I think today is just, it has been amazing, and I think it's going to continue to be really great, and really great and a little windy. So I wanted to talk about the Wounded Warrior Project. This is something that means a lot to me. And when I decided I wanted to thru hike the Pacific Crest Trail, I wanted it to be more than about just the hike. I wanted it to be for some sort of cause, and I've known about the Wounded Warrior Project for a while now. I have friends who were in the military, and some of my family members were also in the military, my two grandfathers, and I know a lot of them have suffered from physical scars that you can see, and also non-physical scars like PTSD. And the Wounded Warrior Project helps in all aspects of physical and non-physical wounds. So anyway, this is something that really means a lot to me. And my goal is to raise $1 per mile hiked on the Pacific Crest Trail. So if I make it to Canada, that will be $2,650. So anyway, if this is something that you would like to donate to, I set up a GoFundMe, and the link is below, and it's going to be below all of my videos going forward. So if you are willing and able to donate, that would be amazing. Every dollar counts, and this directly benefits the Wounded Warrior Project. Hello! Thought I'd give a gear update for week 1, but before I do that, I want to show you this scenery. I'm at about 56 miles, so here we go. It's really beautiful terrain. Oh, there we go. Give you a 360 view. Okay, so that's where I am. Mile about 56, and wanted to give a gear update. So these past, we're on day 4 right now, and past 4 days we've been through some extreme weather, so heat, and then also yesterday we descended Mount Laguna and had a windstorm, about 60-mile gusts and light rain. So that actually, I'll have gone over that already the way I'm gonna set up this video, but yeah, so it was great because it tested all of my gear. So I'm really liking all of my gear except for a couple things that I'm either gonna send home or replace. So like I said, love most of my gear. I was really warm at night, even though it was below freezing last night, or actually it was about freezing, I think, a little bit over maybe, but with the wind chill, maybe a little under. So I'm going to be replacing sunglasses because they tend to pinch my face. So Walmart special wasn't the greatest idea for that, so I might have to splurge on a good pair of sunglasses, and I'll be using them every day. So I think that money will be well worth it. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking for rattlesnakes. I have to be careful with that. Luckily, the trail's a little bit wider here. Other thing I'm not really using much is a day food bag. So one of my food packs that I went over in one of my gear videos before I started PCT was specifically for day food. So I'm not using that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to trade that for, I have a thru pack. I don't know if you can see it, but on my hip. And I think I'm going to get rid of the thru pack, and just for the purposes of keeping my important documents and my phone, I think I'm just going to be using that Z pack, kind of like a purse for in town. And I'll be keeping my important documents probably in there. So switching things up, sending back my little thru pack, hiking pack. My sunglasses I'll be replacing. I'll let you know what I end up replacing it with. And I'm also going to be sending back my trail dress because I just think it's an extra piece of gear that I'm not going to end up wearing much of, even on laundry days. So I think on laundry days I'm either going to be wearing my sleep clothes. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to be doing. So I won't need that dress anymore. It's just extra weight. Extra weight that I'm going to be carrying. So far, gear's going great. The things I'm really loving are, of course, my sits pad. Use it all the time to like kneel when I'm setting up my tent. Sleeping bag and filling up my sleeping pad. I haven't used my umbrella yet. It hasn't gotten too hot, but I know I'm going to be using it soon because we're going into the Anza Desert. Loving my, they're kind of stuck with my trekking poles. I was going to show them to you. Oh, here you go. Trekking poles, great. I'm really pounding them into the ground, so they're holding up great. I'm hoping they last the whole time. I think they will. Pack is great, especially when we hit some rain yesterday. Waterproof is wonderful. I have to say, I really like my Dirty Girl gaiters. However, there's already a hole in them, so I know they don't cover that under their warranty, but I must be walking so as like to kick one of the sides of my ankles because my shoes are also worn in those areas. So just normal wear and tear for that, but I'm just, I guess, a little disappointed that it's so early on. But again, it's probably the way I'm walking specifically. Other than that, all of my gear is just exceeding my expectations. So not planning to send anything back right now, but I will update you in week 2.